Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to my beauty industry enthusiasts, content creators, and brand visionaries. Get ready to step into a world where beauty meets business, where the creator economy blends seamlessly with strategy. I'm Sonia, and this is Lipservice, the podcast. We're about to redefine the way that you think about the beauty industry. From the boardroom to the makeup room, we're leaving no stone unturned. Lipservice is your backstage pass to the beauty industry's best kept secrets. Now take out your notebook, fill up your emotional support water bottle, and swipe on your favorite lip gloss. Let's get into the episode. Welcome back to the podcast. We are here today with Elena, who is a beauty host, beauty specialist, esthetician, and a TikTok star right now, on the rise, content creator. Thank you for joining us, Elena. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Sonia. I'm good. It's the last day of school today, so I'm feeling all the feels. So I might cry during this podcast.
Oh my goodness. End of the
It's
year.
bittersweet.
Oh, they're always growing so fast. I know.
I know. I see your little baby all the time on your channel. It's cute.
I know. He might pop in here. We'll see. He's on his way out the door, so he always sometimes makes a special appearance. Well, let's get started with my favorite question for everyone. Can you give us a breakdown of what is on your face today? What did you use for glam?
Oh my God. So I used a lot of stuff. I didn't use any foundation, but I used like a bunch of other products to kind of do my face. So I used Catrice. I have it right here. Hold on. What is it called? The under eye brightener, but I use it in two different colors because I have like a peach and a pink. So I used that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used my favorite palette from Forever 21. Forever 21. Oh my God. Makeup Forever. Hello. I'm losing my mind. Not from Forever 21.
That's so funny.
Not from Makeup Forever. I used that. I actually tried out these new lash extensions and I put them on last night and I slept with them. Supposedly they last 10 days. It's a female owned brand called Lilac Street. So shout out to them because so far so good. And I'm trying to think, Laura Geller eye pencil, Makeup Forever lip liner, and Lawless Beauty lip gloss. New, which I just posted yesterday. I got sent every color of the Lawless Beauty new cream blushes.
Oh, how are those?
To die for.
Good.
Incredible. Honestly.
Great.
Oh my gosh. So
they're really expanding so quickly.
I like that brand a lot. I love their lippies are my favorite. I have all of them, and their lip liners. And people always ask me did you just get your lips done? I'm like, no, it's Lawless. I really love them. I would love to work with them one day, hopefully.
What a good promo for them. I love it. Okay. So then
and I'm drinking iced coffee out of a Solo cup.
I love it. So classy. We love it. Perfect. And then question 2, if you were going to the afterlife tomorrow, whatever that might look like for you, what one product do you think that you would bring with you?
Oh my God. So let me think. Hold on. Like a beauty product, right? Obviously.
Sure. But it can be anything, of course. Whatever you feel like you want to take with you.
We'll do beauty. We'll do beauty. Oh my God. That's really hard. I'm going to say no to sunscreen because I don't feel like you need it there. Because you're already dead.
True.
So I think I would bring this palette because you could do a lot with it.
The Makeup Forever. The Makeup Forever.
It's the HD Skin Face Essentials because you got everything in one palette.
So many people have been raving about that palette. I'm going to have to check it out. Especially makeup artists, estheticians. I think people who have a little bit more what I would call elite knowledge of makeup. I think they're not intimidated by that palette because they understand mixing the different tones to get your perfect match. So I can understand why that has been a favorite for people.
It's long lasting, which is a thing. A lot of cream makeup eventually just kind of disappears. And this is 12-hour wear and waterproof. So yeah, it's good.
It's on there.
Worth it.
Amazing. And then the last question I always like to ask our guests is, where are you finding creativity right now? What is helping spark your creative outlet?
To be 100% transparent, I'm not feeling it lately. So it's I'm having difficulty, and I don't know if it's just the season of my life where I'm in, or if it's just because of the month that it is, and I'm just focusing like more on my family, and it's like that end of year, like I said, that
Sure.
last month is crazy, and I have kind of been feeling a little bit uninspired. So
Mm.
I'd like some inspiration.
I do think
So
that
yeah,
as we edge towards, June, halfway through the year, people do start feeling a slump, especially if you haven't maybe achieved some of the things you had hoped would happen so
yeah,
far, or like you said, you have a stronger focus elsewhere right now, with things going on with your family, personal life. I have another creator that I mentor who's going through, some personal items, and she was just like, I just can't do it right now. I'm like, I think that's fine. Like, just take a
yeah,
break. It's okay.
yeah.
It's hard. It's so hard to force yourself.
It's hard to force yourself in this industry, especially,
Mm-hmm.
like not all my videos do well, and I know it's because of my energy behind the camera, right? So
Sure.
that comes into play. I'm always so impressed. Like, I did QVC for a couple of years, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we'll be on HSN, and like you have to be on no matter what, like on, like,
Yeah.
and that's a really hard thing to do. I feel like with TV I can do it more because I have
Mm-hmm.
to. Like, I don't have to with social media, but like, something could happen in my life and then I go on, I'm like, hey, then like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's like you just have to like kind of act.
Push through it.
Um yeah, push through. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm almost also overwhelmed with how many trends there are, makeup there is. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
43, as you know, and so like growing up, there was like drugstore makeup and department store makeup, and that was pretty much
Sure.
it. And
Mm-hmm.
so now it's just like it's just coming at you left and right, and you don't even know. Like, my freaking head's spinning. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I can
Yeah, so
understand that. It is very overwhelming. I mean, even for me, I'm not that much younger than you. I'm turning 39 shortly. I
oh my God, I
do
thought you were like 30.
uh,
Shut up. Oh my
no
God. Do people always
skincare.
think that though?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
do.
God.
I think like thank you genetics. My mom also has like a younger look, and I think it's like
Yeah.
the full cheeks. We were blessed, honestly.
Yeah,
As
I had to
when you're
pay for
younger,
mine.
yeah, I'm like going to preserve them 100%.
Yeah.
I am not against that. So yeah, I get that. Like with even as a marketer, I find it overwhelming the amount of products my clients are launching. It's so hard to keep up. I can only imagine on the other end as a creator, you're getting all of that. It's like, how do I approach each of these in a different way, in a new way, in a way that's more creative and exciting for my community when so much is being thrown at you? That's a
Mhm.
huge hurdle to get through. So you are not alone there
Thank you.
for
I
sure.
know. It's nice to know that and I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the community on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear people like, like some of my friends that I've never met,
Yeah.
but say
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm having trouble creating. I'm like, it's totally normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's when I post other things. I'm like, I just can't only do beauty also. Like, it gets
Perfect.
boring.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for that. Let's get into the episode. So, today I would love to do a quick 5 questions with you. But before we dive into that, I would love for you to just give the audience a little bit of perspective on your journey.
Yeah.
I know that you're coming as a host, you've done live, you've done TV, and I'm sure becoming a content creator kind of was secondary. I would love to know sort of how has that helped your career? How did that evolution look? Because I think there's a lot of people who probably your age range who have professional experience like you do, either in hosting as professional makeup artists or estheticians, et cetera, and they are trying to take those next steps in content creation. What was the transition like for you, and kind of how did you end up here? You have now, I think, 130,000 followers on TikTok, somewhere around there.
Like 150 something, I think.
Yes. So
154,
a
150, I don't
really
know.
strong following there. So I think people would just love to know, how did you get started and how did you make this transition?
Sure. So I was an esthetician and then I wanted to open a spa, so which is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened my spa in 2015 and I decided to do our social media, and I was like the late comer to Facebook because I was like, I don't want social media. I was like very against it.
Love it.
And I joined Facebook the year we were getting married, like, so 2011 I joined Facebook, and I feel like Facebook was around for a while at that point.
Yeah.
And like for personal, right, just like for friends, family. Then when we opened the business, I started our Instagram page, and I was like really enjoying because I'm so creative. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, wow, I really like this. Like, I really liked it. and I suck at taking pictures. Like now I'm better, but you know, like I am better, but like I am not the best. So like I was not doing like, I tried so hard. Oh my God, flat lays. I was trying, you know, whatever for Instagram.
I love it.
But oh my God. But then I was like, oh, I really like this. And then I decided to start like a secondary for my beauty. And it was actually called something else. It was called F-Bomb Beauty Mom because I love the F word. So I called it F-Bomb Beauty Mom.
So cute.
And then I decided to change it when I started doing TV. I was like, this probably isn't a good idea.
Too risky. Yeah.
A little too risky. And one of our receptionists had a connection at Good Day New York. I'm from New York, so I live in Florida now. At the time, I was living in New York. She had a connection at Good Day New York. They needed a spring beauty segment. I went on air live. I brought machines from my spa, which was insane.
Wow.
And then I got bit by that TV bug. By the way, I have no college degree, so I do not have like the degree in, you know, TV broadcasting or anything like that. And I'm like, I love this. So then I started, and I loved watching at that time Today Show, Steals and Deals. I'm like, how does that work?
Yeah.
So I realized that I could kind of do that. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started. And then I hated the spa. We ended up closing it. We were trying to sell it, but then COVID happened. And then we had to close because like, hello, nobody can get a facial. And then that's when I moved to Florida, and I had already been doing TV for like maybe a year, like all over the country, like KTLA, Connecticut, obviously New York, and learning how to like get on TV, but also get paid. And you don't get paid by the station. It's basically as a spokesperson. For sure. So then fast forward to living in Florida, I did hire an agent, and she helped me get an audition for QVC as a guest host. This was all via Zoom because it was during COVID. And they were relaunching a clothing line, a QVC proprietary clothing line. And they auditioned a bunch of us, and I got it. And so that's how I got on QVC. Yeah.
Wow. And then at what point was it also during COVID when you pivoted to TikTok and started to take advantage of that?
So I was like, let me try. So I was on Clubhouse.
I was also on Clubhouse, and I made so many friends that I still have today.
I did.
But it was definitely a flash in the pan, let's be honest.
Yeah, it was a flash in the pan. I always felt like there was like these cool kids clubs and like weird, like raise your hand if you want to talk. Like I just was not liking that vibe. However, I was realizing like a lot of people were on TikTok. So I was like, let me try it. And I was like, oh, this is so much better than Instagram. Because I was like, Instagram, like, oh my God. I mean, I do it because I have to, but I am not very active on there. And so I truly believe that I would not have this many followers if it weren't for COVID and joining at that time. Like the days of like I had one video go viral that is so bad. It is such a weird, the music is too loud in the background. I had long blonde extensions that looked ratchet AF. I looked like a shit. But the hack I showed was just like, the hack I showed was like a cool like 90s hack. And I was like, oh, when you use, and then everybody copied it, which I didn't know people copied everybody's stuff, which is fine, but they didn't give me the credit. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's fine. Like we all do, like, oh, so-and-so did this, you know, contouring thing. So it was where you use setting powder to thicken your lashes or whatever. It went ballistic. It went crazy. I was like, oh, these people are young. Like, do they not? Like, I thought everybody knew this like silly hack. And I gained like 30,000 followers from that like one video. Yeah. And so I think everybody was just home. Everybody was home. So
it was definitely a different time then. And it's like so funny. It's like, oh, such a different time was just like a few years ago. But I agree. And I'm glad that you could admit that like if you were on it at the beginning of TikTok and you embraced it right at the beginning, you easily could have 100,000 followers right now, because at the beginning there was just a different vibe than we have today.
100%. It was totally different. Not that I'm saying like my content's not good enough, but I just don't think I would have gotten there like that quickly for sure. And like, I'm just not like somebody that's like really creating like A++++ content. I know that sounds terrible to say, but I feel like I'm good, like whatever, but there are people who are better, and that's okay. You know, like I love to watch other people who are like really, I mean, you know, also I have a lot of other things, you know, other jobs. Like I just can't do this
Yeah,
100%.
it's
So
good to be
that's what it is.
self-aware, and
Yeah.
definitely I feel the same. Like I got on it as a watcher early on, but I didn't really dive into the content side of things. And even today, I love growing the channel. I love posting more. I love trying to help people and reach people through it. But at the end of the day, my first priority has to be clients, and that means not creating as much
Right.
content. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's hard to keep up with people who are doing this like almost 100%, and who
Right.
don't have kids and don't have families and are younger, and like
That too.
that's
Yeah.
why it's so difficult to get out of the comparison trap, because you just think about the online person, but the offline is so different in terms of what the scenarios are. So
100%. And like, do I make money? Yes. But like TV makes me, I know how to like, pitch the brands, book the segment, and make my money. And like, I have to like go there, I need to,
yeah,
I don't make my money. I need to bring
yeah,
it in.
for sure.
So, but I love creating content. I like TikTok Shop, and I know a lot of people don't, and I have a lot of opinions on that if you want to talk about that. But
Sure.
that's a whole nother. So I think that the creators who like don't like TikTok Shop, I find it strange because of this. We would always say, oh, or people ask you, you'll say link in my bio. Why are we so against having the link more accessible? Like, I don't understand. And I
Yeah.
know it feels like it's salesy. Like, I don't even say anything. Like, I'll link it, but a lot of times I don't even say click on it. Like, I used to always say link in bio, link in bio.
Sure.
I mean, because here's the thing: if I make a video and I don't, then someone will say, "Oh, what did you use?" Then I have to make a follow up video. Like,
Yeah.
what's the problem? Like, buy it, don't
Yeah.
buy it. Like, that's up to you.
For
But
sure.
you know, like I just feel like it's just easier. Like you're making them do less steps. Like
Yeah. And they
Amazon,
did just
like
open it up to people now who have 1,000 followers. So the threshold used to be 5,000, as you know. And now we just got the notification that they're opening up to people who have 1,000 followers. And I think what ends up happening, and why a lot of creators complain about TikTok Shop, is that they're seeing that people who have 1,000 followers and up now can start essentially taking their deals. Right. So
okay.
people who previously were never paid for anything can go ahead and monetize their channel, which is fine in a silo. Like, I don't think anybody has a problem with that. I think where the problem lies is brands see that someone with so few followers can start to convert for them. Why would they pay someone with a lot of followers upfront fees for the same thing? Right. And as a marketer, I see that those things all need to work together. But I do understand how, from a brand perspective, from like an ROI, and we're spending our marketing dollars here, why would I pay 5,000 for one person when I have all these people who, yes, they have smaller followings, but if I gift them the product, they're going to post it for free, and they could all be converting potentially the same amount all put together. Yes, it's a lot more work up front, but they could be converting the same amount without me having to pay upfront fees. I think you need both people, but I understand why kind of your more quote unquote established brand partnership people who are used to getting fees up front for TikTok were disappointed that this launched, because it sort of takes money out of their pocket. So it's just one of those things when we have new technology and things evolve and new features come out, like there's people who are going to be disappointed. There's people who are truly benefiting. Lives have been changed by using TikTok Shop 100%. People who had never monetized
so
before.
good.
Like, it's wild. So I see both sides.
It's wild. I mean, I'm like, I've made money, but not like some of the money these people are making. Like, I am considered a star creator, which is pretty good, I guess. Like, it's the highest,
higher tier,
whatever. But I've never made like $80,000 off of a product. I'm like, what the heck? How's this? And I'm like, hi TikTok, push my content out. Thank you. Like, what's happening?
For sure. Okay, well, let's dive in to your 5 questions. Number 1, why did you start creating content on this journey? We talked a little bit about this, but what really was like, oh, I should just get on TikTok? Like, what was the turning point?
Yeah, I mean, because I felt stifled on Instagram. I felt no growth, and I felt like I couldn't be myself, and that's the truth. So the difference is I am not very curated. So I am not like filters and beauty and aesthetic. Like once in a blue moon, I'll post a video like that, and like it doesn't even do well. Because I don't know. It just feels so unnatural to me. And I love people that are able to do that, but like, it's just not me. I'm very like FaceTime, talk to the camera person.
Yeah.
And that is what TikTok is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I felt like, oh, wow. Again, I had just moved somewhere new. It was hard to make friends. I have a core group of mom friends now, but at the
Mm-hmm.
time I couldn't even walk into my kids' school because of COVID. So it was
Mm,
also like an outlet as far
really
as like,
isolating. Yeah.
yeah, I was like isolated. So I was like, this is amazing. I can talk about what I love. No,
Mm-hmm.
my husband doesn't want to hear about fucking, lip gloss. So like, I'm like, I can
So
talk about
true.
what I love.
Uh-huh.
I can share what I know.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even about monetizing at all. I mean, like, it was like, just let's see where this goes, And so
Great.
I loved it. And then I didn't love it when went viral and people were so awful. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
whoa.
no.
Yeah, people are very mean. But whatever. I stuck with it. And I think that's part of it, sticking with it. And like,
Yeah,
you got to keep
for
doing it.
sure. Got to keep showing up. Okay. Number two, what's one investment you made recently that is helping you show up online more effectively, you think?
Not recently, I haven't, but I did. What helped me is I took a course,
Mm,
one of those online courses, and it's called
yeah.
5 Minutes to Fame. 5 Minutes to Famous. I think courses are what you make of them. Like you could buy, like be like, oh, that course sucked. No, well, if you didn't implement what you learned, then it sucked. I
Yeah.
actually implemented what I learned, and I was able to start getting featured as a beauty expert in magazines. So I have been in
Nice.
Vogue, in People, in
Mm-hmm.
Marie Claire, in Cosmo, like you name it, for years. I mean, I've been quoted for like over 5 years at this point. And when you have that and then you show that proof online, like, oh, look,
Yeah.
when you show credibility, that really helps set you apart as a
100%.
creator,
Yeah.
whatever your niche is. So investing in that course taught me how to pitch to journalists, how to forge relationships with them, how to come up with ideas,
Mm-hmm.
where to go to pitch and all that kind of stuff. And it really served me.
Wow. And if you don't mind us asking, just because I always think people need to know like what an investment really looks like, how much did you pay for the course?
This one wasn't like the thousands of dollars
Okay.
one.
It wasn't
This
too
was
bad.
also a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I really don't even remember, but I know that I did not have that money at that time. So I
Mm-hmm.
probably paid a couple $100.
Okay. I mean, that's still a decent investment. I know some
Yeah.
creators are, scared to
Yeah.
do $100. So I think good for you for making that
No, some
investment.
of these courses are like thousands.
I know.
These people, I'm like thousands and thousands. I'm like,
I
no,
know. I will say I'm always
yeah.
very hesitant about courses for people, but it's because of my own personality. I think I know that personally to learn, I need hands-on attention. And that's why I've never really
Me too.
created a self-paced course. I need someone to show up and talk to me and then motivate me to go do it and check in on me and make sure I'm doing it. Like I just know. And I know that costs more. That's why I never created a
It
course. And
costs more because
yeah.
right. I've looked into doing that with someone. I'm like, I don't want the course. Like, I just want you to like, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that costs a pretty penny. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, and I get it. Like, it's their actual time. It's
for
not like
sure.
they're like one course and then they don't have, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All
It's
right.
fine. I get it, but they could be helpful.
That for sure. Okay, so question 3. What's one thing you wish people knew about being a beauty content creator?
Oh, about being a beauty content creator. Here's what's funny. Might get backlash for it. I am sitting around looking at all the shit that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And like they think it's like so amazing to get all these products, but I feel like gluttonous guilt about it. And I
Mm-hmm.
try to give it away, and gift it and this and that to like friends, family. I thought about like some kind of like coming up with a plan. Like, my problem is I have good ideas, but I don't know how to execute. So like I have an idea of like how can I donate? Because when it comes to beauty products, like even if I use it once for a video, like now is it
You can't
contaminated?
donate
Like
it.
so
Mm-hmm.
then I wish I could come up with a program that where beauty creators can like, you know, get these items over to like maybe Dress for Success or who, you know what I mean? Like these
Yeah.
organizations that help women. So
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could do something like that. But I think people think that like, oh my God, it's so amazing. Every day you get new stuff. And like it is, but then it isn't. It's like I feel guilty. I feel like I have too much stuff. And then I don't want to get rid of anything because like what if I have to make a video with this one product? Or
Sure.
what if not necessarily for me to use it, but like what if it goes viral and now I don't have it? Because something can go
Mm.
viral even when it's not new. Like I think all
Yeah.
these weird things. That like I remember when I don't follow her anymore, but Michaela made a video of like how hard it is. Oh my God, I'm so tired. It is though. It's like, it's very energy draining. That's what it is.
100%.
She was tone deaf in her delivery of how she like made the video and everything. Cause like, you know, there are people like, you know, nurses on their feet for 12 hours. Like I'm not in no way comparing myself, but it is also very mentally draining. And then you're getting, you know, bullied online or whatever. So like it comes with a cost.
Yeah, it does. It does come with a cost that I think people are not as aware of. So that's a very good point and answer to that question. Okay, question 4 is what is one of your goals this year? What are you really excited about?
So I've had this goal for a while and I have not completed it, but I would love to get on the Today Show and with like an awesome, like, you know, I have a few segment ideas, beauty related, and that's my goal. I would just love, like, I don't know, that's just my beacon right there. I'm like, I need to reach that goal and hopefully I will.
Okay. Well, tonight is a full moon, so manifest that for the next moon cycle.
Okay.
I love it. We're cheering you on. I hope to see you very soon.
Thank you.
All right. And then number 5 is, who are some of the creators you really look up to and why?
I love Erin Parsons. I think she's a makeup artist. She's just so real. She recently posted stuff about like her mom and her childhood, which I loved. And she's just so talented, and I don't know, like her content is like A+++. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like a creator like that is like legit. Not only is she a great creator, but she's also a great makeup artist with a lot of just incredible talent. I also love Spencer. He's a makeup artist and his voice is so soothing. He just had a baby and oh my gosh, I love him. I love to watch real makeup artists. Like I love that. Another one is, I'm probably butchering her name, Erin Duggar. It's like 3 names. Like she's so cute. She just got like a little blonde bob and she does like a lot of, she did like 30 days of hair. Erin Duggar Jurchak or something like that.
Okay, we'll look it up and I'll make sure to, I don't know her. I know. I'm going to have to find her though. It's okay.
And she has such good energy. She does beauty, like she does makeup and stuff, but she does hair too. And she's just super fun. She's super fun and bubbly. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know who you're speaking of, and I do follow her.
I'm totally saying her name wrong.
Erin Dugan Jurchak.
Dugan.
Yeah, 3 names. And you know, if you want to be famous, you have to have 3 names. I'm guaranteed.
Oh, shit. My parents screwed me. I'm half Colombian. Like, how do I not have a middle name? Like, that's so weird.
You don't have one at all?
No. And every Spanish, like Latino person has like 17 names.
Yeah, Elise is actually my middle name. I'm Mexican, but Elise is my middle name, and I go by it because I was married before, and when I divorced, I was like, I'm tired. Like, I'm not going to go through name changing anymore after this. This is some bullshit. Like the amount of busy work it was to change my name back was truly heart-wrenching. And so I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah, I'm never doing this. Smart. Don't do it. I'm sorry. No. Sorry, ladies out there.
No, I was like, it's my identity. I'm not doing it. So yeah, I love them. And then I love like my ladies in the beauty community. Like I love Michelle Spieler. Like I went on a cruise with her, the Over 40 cruise.
Fun.
Who else? Oh my God. Yeah, that was in 2021 or 2022. I can't remember. I mean, just so many great people out there to
You
follow.
dropped some really good names. I love it. We'll link everybody in the show notes, of course. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I would love for you to leave just a little message for people who are early on in their content creator journey. What is something that you would love to tell them in terms of like encouragement and what you've learned?
Oh my gosh. So post, as everyone always says, post the content, who cares? And that's totally true. Be like, if you think something is silly, it doesn't matter. If you think it's something somebody already knows, like remember I said about that mascara hack?
Sure.
I was like, oh, everyone knows it. Like sometimes I feel dumb when even now I'm like, I'm posting this and then people are gonna be like, I already knew that because people do that, but not everybody knows that. Not everybody knows about skincare or makeup or how to apply concealer. Just because you watch a million videos of people showing you doesn't mean they do. Yep. So don't be scared to share the easiest, simplest tip.
For sure.
And then also, if like they're new on and they're like, I like to go back and watch my old videos to see like how far I've come. And
Oh, I
it's
love
cringe.
that. I love
It's
it.
cringe,
Mm-hmm.
but it's helpful. That's like when I watch myself on TV, I'm like, oh my God, I want to die. Like I can't even, like it's bad. It's bad. But you have to do it to like be better. You know what I mean? So I think that's really
100%.
important. Hmm.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for these tips and for sharing your
Thank you.
amazing story with us, Elena. I truly appreciate your time, and I know the community is going to love these 5 questions with you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so fun to talk to you, Sonia.
All right, guys, we will catch you on the next episode, and stay tuned for the Content Creator Hotline. Welcome to the Lipservice Creator Hotline. I'm so glad to be back answering more of your questions. This question comes to us from one of my favorite girlies, a Lipservice member and past mentorship client, Kaylee. She asked, please share the basics of the beauty industry timelines throughout the year. What are the patterns? What are the timelines of when products get pushed, new releases, more quiet times, etc.? This would be a huge help in figuring out how to best plan content with background knowledge on the business. This is a rather complex answer, unfortunately, because unlike the fashion calendar that runs on a pretty well-timed schedule universally, beauty is not quite like that. Beauty products can be created, dropped, released pretty much at any time, but you will find that there are some cadences to the way that people release. Number one, we normally see a strong release of products at the very beginning of the year. It's a strong injection and a way to get started and kick off the year and start grabbing new customers and, of course, new cash flow. We normally see a secondary launch closer to summertime, aka right now. Summer requires different products because of the weather. So we normally see a lot of innovation around sunscreen, all types of SPFs, but also lighter weight makeup formulas tend to come out closer to the warmer months. Think your milk jelly tint, right? So those are some of the patterns that we see. But one pattern I really want to talk about most in this moment is what is the calendar looking like when it comes to content creators securing deals with brands for the holidays. We are coming up on June as I record this, and typically with the brands that I have worked with, we start thinking about what are we doing in the back half of the year. That would be, end of year sales, back to school, and holiday content by the time June and July rolls around. And I know that seems, oh my gosh, so early, so soon to be thinking about end of year, but honestly, it isn't. Summer goes by so quickly because so many people travel, they're out of office, and it's hard to get everybody in a room together. So when we start planning for something really large like end of year sale, end of year promotions, holiday gifting, we normally aim to do it around July, August. And if you are the type of brand that promos back to school, well, most teens, people who we are marketing towards for skincare, hair care, makeup, on the younger side are going back to school, high school and college in August and September, which means that the programs need to be signed, sealed, delivered in July. So you can imagine that it is very important to get on your favorite beauty brands' radars for any larger partnerships and deals by May and June. I would say that if you are already on the gifting list or have been invited to an event, you have a really good foothold and chance of pitching and hopefully converting a brand for the holiday back to school season. I really hope that this helps just push the needle forward a little bit for you, Kaylee. As I mentioned, this is a much longer response that has to be developed if you would like a longer calendar. It is something that you are inspiring me to perhaps create and make as a downloadable for the community. So thank you for asking this question. Our next question is about disclosure and legal. Our member asks, I signed an agreement with a marketplace company. where they are gifting me products to review as well as paying me money for my reviews. So in this case, it's not the brand directly that's gifting me, but the marketplace. Is there any difference in my legal disclosure requirements? I'm guessing I still need to and feel like it would be more ethical to disclose that it was a gift/paid partnership. If so, is it sufficient to just note it as maybe a brief text banner in the video, or how would you recommend doing so in a way that's apparent but not too distracting from the content? Well, I'm very glad that it is part of your personal ethics to disclose this partnership. Yes, you are correct that even though the products are not coming directly from the brand, they're coming from the marketplace or a retailer, you do still have to disclose that this was paid/gifted. That is essentially saying that Ulta or Sephora or Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus or Saks gifted you. It's a very similar circumstance. So it doesn't matter that it wasn't coming from the actual brand. It still does need to be disclosed. And according to the FTC, I'm looking at their Disclosures 101 for Social Media Influencers pamphlet. It does say that in terms of how to disclose, you have to make sure that people will see and understand the disclosure. Place it so that it's hard to miss. So the disclosure should be placed within the endorsement message itself. And you need to have it both visually and in writing. So this says that you need to have the disclosure hashtag sponsored or gifted or this is paid, et cetera. It doesn't give the exact language here, but you do need to have a visual disclosure on the content itself. So in the video, that is something that you could also say in the video. And like you're saying, you don't want it to be too hindering on the content itself, but you also don't want to be completely invisible and hidden. So use your best judgment there. And then in addition, you do need to have a disclosure in the actual caption itself. Now, that does not actually have to be a hashtag. You can just write the word ad or sponsored, but this does say don't use vague or confusing terms like SP, spawn, or collab. A lot of people do use collab, so keep that off of it because clearly that is not approved by the FTC. They're also saying to stay away from terms like thanks or ambassador and stay away generally from any abbreviations, shorthand, or nicknames. So there you have it. That is the official ruling from the FTC on how to disclose paid partnerships and gifting. And yes, you are correct. It needs to be done in a video when the product was, of course, gifted and there was payment involved, even if it was not from the brand itself that you are creating content about. Thank you again so much for listening to this episode of Lip Service with me, Sonia Elise, your host. Per usual, I encourage you to join us on Lip Service, the community over on Geneva. The group is absolutely free to join, and that is where I pulled these questions that you are hearing today. So if you have questions that you would love to have me answered, make sure you join there and pop into the Creator Questions chat where you can drop your question for me. I'll see you guys next episode.